All right, I normally start off going, hey, this is Jay and Manion at the NPC Photo Gym, but this is our first time back in 5 months.
Oh my God.
Almost 5 months to the day.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so this is the 20, what did we say? That's 24th. No, this is 27th. Because it was the 21st of February. That was the final day we filmed here. So I am so happy to have Jennifer Ronzitti, AKA J-Ro, driving up from Baltimore, and we're back in front of the wall.
I feel privileged to be one of the first people back after this whole
Not
COVID.
one of, you are.
The person
The
back
first.
after COVID, quarantine, all that stuff. So I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So we do have tape on the floor for social distancing, for those that are concerned. So we have discussed it. We're not making fun of it at all, because normally I'm a little bit closer whenever we do these. But I can't be too far away because I don't have that wide of a lens.
We'll make it work.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about what have you been doing all these months. I've seen you doing workouts outside. I've seen you doing all kinds of different things. What's life been like?
Boring. Pretty much all we've been doing is just, like, I've been working out in my apartment. I have a 2-bedroom apartment. I converted the office to a quote-unquote loose gym. Like, I mean, it's funny because on Instagram people are like, oh, she has access to a gym, blah, 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 like she's a pro. No, I didn't have access to any gym. All my gyms were closed. So literally. And
let's just say, probably any gym pictures you had were old pictures, yes. Things that you already had.
Yeah, I was using old pictures, and you kind of run out of content when you're like in your apartment, and at some point, like it was raining almost every single day, so I couldn't even go outside to get a workout in. So I was just like, oh, let's just throw in an old picture there. But all I had was a spin bike that I had gotten off of Amazon a couple years ago.
So you finally used it.
Well, no, I always used it, but when I moved to Cali, I left it in Maryland.
Okay.
And then I came back. I'm so glad I never sold it because exercise equipment was, like
hard to get. Yeah.
Or it was like insanely expensive.
Right.
So I couldn't find dumbbells or anything like that, but I had a whole bunch of bands, and then my boyfriend actually got a barbell set from his brother. So I had a barbell set. So thankfully I had some heavy weights, but there's only so much that you can do in a little apartment. And I'm on the 4th floor, and I apologize to all my neighbors. I'm on the top floor. But I mean, there's times where you think that you're setting it down nice, but there's only so much you can do.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, I've said anybody that has been doing NPC contests, especially in an IFBB Pro League contest since we started back in June, and have been training, wherever, outside, in their house, their apartment, whatever, props to everybody. Because everybody was on basically the same playing level.
Yep.
I mean, as we know, there's even now some states where there's gyms still not open. So when did everything start loosening up a little bit in Maryland?
About 3 weeks before Utah.
Okay.
Literally 3 weeks before Utah, and I was one of the first people in the gym. They opened at 5 p.m. and I was like waiting for them to open the doors.
Now, when you went back to that gym, which gym was that?
Gold's Gym.
Okay. Is it still open?
Yeah.
Okay. So it didn't get affected by what's going on. Okay.
They're
well, I mean the corporate thing that's going on.
They're a franchise. They're on the franchise side, so they own a couple different ones in Maryland.
Right.
So when I first heard that Gold's Gym was like bankrupt, I was like, oh my gosh, but thankfully I didn't have to go to a different gym.
Yes, good. All right, so when you went back, were things different with the machines and the layout on the floor?
Yes. So
you kind of had to relearn the gym.
Well, they kept everything as far as like kind of the layout the same. They rearranged some stuff. The biggest difference was with the cardio equipment and then like the benches. So the cardio equipment, they had little social distancing signs, so it could only be every other cardio equipment.
Right.
And then like some of like the spin bikes, they moved over to the turf so that like the spin room was a little bit more open. And then with the weight area or the benches, they had marked boxes where they wanted you to keep the bench 6 feet apart, but I mean nobody's really following that. Like benches are going and some people are social distancing, some people are working out with masks on. I don't understand it, especially with cardio.
Right.
I mean, I saw it the other day. I was just like, I wanted to like give her a high five because she was doing full-on sprints with a mask on.
Right.
So.
But, I mean, I know, like, and I've said this a zillion times in the last couple of months, I mean, my dad closed this place down even, and it's just us, you know? But it's more just the people we would come in contact with and everything.
Right.
So, but we had this place completely clean, top to bottom.
I know, it's like.
It's cleaner than it's
spick
ever
and
been.
span, it's sparkly and shiny.
Oh, when we walked in, it still had like the new car smell
Okay.
from the cleaning.
Like pine sol or something.
Yeah. we were all like, wow, this is, and the carpet was, everything was fixed on the carpet. It was clean.
Smell like a gym.
Right. But I mean, everything was cleaned, and any little stains and stuff were gone. There was no lint. There was nothing.
Nice.
All the none of the machines squeak anymore.
They look good. They all look good.
So, but so I know some people that train for the contest that never were able to even get back in their gym. So even major props to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I know we had certain contests, IFBB Pro League contests that were supposed to happen. Finally, the weekend of July 11th, we had the NorCal Pro and Wasatch Warrior Pro. Okay, so what was your mindset why you went to Utah and not to California?
Well, number one, I knew that a bunch of my teammates were going to California, so I would rather go somewhere where I don't feel that, like, I know, like, my teammates are pretty, like, hefty competitors, so you kind of want to spread
Hefty.
the...
They got hefty in the off-season? No, let's clarify, hefty. That's a very unique word.
Formidable competitors. Formidable. Wrong choice of words.
Hefty, formidable. Formidable, hefty, which one is it?
Nobody's hefty, okay? We are all bikini. We are all
Wait,
bikini.
who was hefty?
No. I've never...
You said it.
I know. This guy. I've never been to Utah, so that was another reason for me to go to Utah. I knew that, like, the NorCal list would be a longer list, so, we look at strategy, and in my head, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to prep for Utah, so that's what I'm going to go for.
Okay, so strategy.
Strategy.
Okay, the strategy is, and we were just discussing this, especially with the Tampa Pro coming up. If you don't realize, IFBB Pro League athletes have until Monday, midday, to get their contracts in the Monday of the week of the contest. So what we're filming today, which I'm not sure what day you'll see this, but I mean, if she hasn't signed up, she could literally, at this point, I could drive her right to the office and sign up because we're still within the time frame of doing it. The contracts are not due the Friday before. I think there's a lot of people that think that.
Gotcha.
Okay, but, and I know you had mentioned that people think that you were looking at the list and jumping in. Well, you couldn't look at the list and jump in because it hadn't been out yet.
Yeah, they didn't even release it till Tuesday, I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know, talk about that, because I know that irked you a little bit.
No, like some people, they're like, oh, you only, wait for the list to come out and then you hop in. Like, no, I don't tell anyone what I'm doing. In my head, my coach and me, we know what we're doing, and those are the only two people that really need to know what's going on as far as competition goes. You don't know what could happen over the weekend or right before a competition. What if you get hurt? What if COVID or something? You just
Right.
never know. So for me, I always, I've done this since my first pro show. I have put in my contract the deadline, on the deadline day, on that Monday.
Right. And I know she does that, but a lot of people don't realize that. So that's what I was going to say. And a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about people these days. So that's why I wanted to make it clear. I wanted to make it clear, not just for her, but for any of the other athletes, whatever division they're in. I mean, if one of the men's pro has been training and you didn't see, and he didn't put what contest he was in, and you think, oh, he's going to jump in Tampa Pro now, guarantee you he was already planning on it. And like I said, they have until today. She's still within the time frame of where we are at this time, but she could put that in, or she can't put it in, whatever she wants to do.
But why does it even matter in the first place? Why do people care? Oh wait, should I not touch you?
Yeah, you broke the plane.
Sorry, guys.
Anyway, but no, I'm just putting it out there because people need something to gossip about.
Yeah. To me, it's like, why worry about what someone else is doing? Just worry about you. Just worry about your prep, like what you're doing to get yourself to the stage. Don't worry about other competitors and if they put their contract in, are they going to hop in? Because then you're taking I know we've talked about this before. You're taking the focus all of yourself and putting it onto someone else.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen you shy away from competing with anybody. You want to compete against the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? That's how you become a top 5, top 6, Olympia competitor consistently.
I call that ripping the Band-Aid off. Just gotta go for it.
Right. So, yeah, we had talked about this before. Normally I just go on the fly, but I did want to get this issue addressed because it's something that I think a lot of people are not aware of.
Now, so there's no excuse for anyone to turn in a late contract because now they know.
Right.
Monday at 3. Right?
Yes. That's it. It has to be in before the secretary leaves. He puts the list together, sends it over, we put it up, and then that's basically it. There are some exceptions here and there, but that's few and far between. Okay? But she's not look at a list and say, oh man, this is easy, I'm going to jump in. There are no easy contests.
No.
Okay? Let's be honest. How many times have you seen, I've seen, rookies come in and win over established competitors?
That's for sure.
I mean, I'll use this as an example because it's coming up. Last year, Daraja Hill wins the North American, turns pro. Okay? Jumps into her first 2 pro shows and wins them both. Okay, trust me, in that 2 to 3 weeks at the time she jumped into her first pro, no one knew who she really was. Oh, that's the girl that won the North Americans. Well, guess what? She pretty much made her name real quick, didn't she? Right? So, it happens. There is no paying dues or anything like that. I mean, if there was paying dues, we can go back to, as we've talked about a zillion times, when your pro debut in Pittsburgh, okay, where you were at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then a month later, Toronto, she wins it. Well, if there was paying dues, she wouldn't have won because she didn't do any other contests in between Pittsburgh and Toronto.
That's very true.
Right. So, I mean, she's like the textbook of what can and can't happen and everything else. Seriously.
You just got to go for it. At the end of the day, you just got to go for it.
Right. So, now that we're here and you got your sights set on the Olympia, what do you think of the Olympia being moved to December?
I'm sad about my Thanksgiving.
That was not the answer. Okay.
Besides that, it's nice because it...
So, I can't give you any of my birthday cakes since my birthday's around Thanksgiving.
I mean, I'll freeze it. You can give me your birthday cake. I'll freeze it.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of girls want me to give it to you so you eat it.
Oh. I can make room for it in my macros.
Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
I think it's great because they are giving all of the athletes a chance to qualify. So not only moving the Olympia back, the qualification back to, end of October?
Middle of October.
Middle of October.
Right.
It just gives us more time because we're still in a uncertain time where they're still canceling contests.
Right.
It would be nice to have as many as we can qualify for the Olympia. I know we have a good amount of people already qualified, but just giving people the chance to be able to try to step on that stage again this year when everything has been so uncertain.
Right.
It's just nice to know that we have a little bit more time because, for people like me that were prepping through quarantine and then quarantine's over and then you're going into shows, you really don't have a break if the Olympia didn't get moved.
Right.
So then we're looking at tired bodies. Can you sustain that? So it's just all around better for the competitor, healthier, gives us a little bit more time.
Right. And so what do you think of the new era of moving to Planet Hollywood in the Sands Convention Center?
I'm kind of excited because the Orleans was it was special, but it's kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ironic that it's 2020, kind of like it's a new decade. We're starting a new thing. I'm in this unfortunate situation worldwide, of course, with the pandemic and stuff. But talk about rebooting. I mean, it just kind of worked, you know.
I'm excited.
And I mean, I'm excited. I couldn't even say it to you with a straight face because I'm super excited. I mean, my God, people, I've been to every Mr. Olympia from 1976 except for 3 when I was in college. And I'm super excited about the whole thing, you know. I'm super stoked about women's bodybuilding coming back, you know. I mean, for those of you, and again, except for the first 2 Miss Olympias, I've seen every one of those too.
Wow.
You know, so I know I'm dating myself here. I was this big.
No.
But no, I think it's just exciting. I think the whole thing's exciting. And you have so many former champions in all the divisions. Okay? I mean, look in your division. So you're going to have Ashley, Angelica, and Isa. Okay? You've got in fitness. You've got your girl Whitney. You've got Oksana and Adela. My God, look at the Mr. Olympia. I mean, and with Flex Lewis coming over. I mean, even look at the figure Olympia. I mean, you can look at everything. Look at every division. Look at the men's physique. Oh my God. You know. So I just think, and I like the fact that there's these former champions that had said they'd retire, but said, "What am I doing? I want to be part of this too." I think that makes it even more exciting.
Right.
And pretty much every division, you're getting that also. I mean, come on. I mean, we have the potential for, let's see, in the men's physique. So 1, 2, the last 3 champions.
Wow.
Men's physique, that could just be itself. What a call out that would be.
It's going to be really, we say this every time leading up until the Olympia. This is going to be an interesting Olympia, but this is definitely going to be.
But it's interesting that it's almost like in threes, like with Classic, you'll have Chris, Breon, and Danny.
Yep.
Like all 3 Classic Olympia champions. You know, it's just it's kind of weird how it's working out in threes, but it makes it really it's fun. It's going to be exciting.
I know, and just like the new venue, I'm just super pumped because the Orleans has been our home, but it's time to upgrade.
Yes, yes, for sure. All right, so do you want to give a shout out to anybody else while you're here?
Absolutely. I just want to thank my coach, Damian Scovia, for putting up with me. I'm super, super thankful for your support, especially through quarantine and your guidance. Pro-Tan always does my color for tans. I feel like NASCAR because I'm going to start rattling off more.
There's nothing wrong.
Buff Bikinis. Chelsea, she makes my bikinis for every single show. They're absolutely gorgeous. All that glitters gems. She makes sure that I have the best accessories and shoes when I hit stage. MegaFit Meals. They make sure that my food is always prepped. I don't have to cook when it's like 90 degrees outside like this.
Right.
So food is always ready, shipped straight to my hotel. Allmax, thank you so much for being with me since 2014. You guys are like literally one of my first sponsors when I turned pro. And Better Bodies. This is why I have like super cool workout gear. JM.
Next to her NPC Activewear Club.
I know. This is the new pro shirts, the pro league shirts, yeah.
Yep.
Mom, Dad, always supporting me for everything that I do and going to almost every competition. They're going to be there this year at the Olympia again. So
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I like that.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, Jay and Manion,
Jennifer Ronzitti.
we're signing out for NPCNewsOnline.com.